Alright, welcome back with us today. Today we're going to use a function that I love using, and that is a vertical lookup function. Vertical lookup functions allow us to use some type of criteria to then pull information out of a separate table. And it comes in real useful in a lot of different situations. In this situation, what we want it to do is we want it to find what the grade is, rather than doing a multiple nesting of if statements like we did a few lessons ago. We're going to use this vertical lookup formula. Now, there are some things you need to understand about using a vertical lookup formula. The lookup table, where we're getting our information from, has to be set up in a particular way. In this situation, what you have to have is the computer is going to look and match from the first column of the lookup table. And whatever's in that first column has to be in alphabetical order or in numeric order. In this case, since we have percentages, we start with 0 and we slowly get larger. What you have in the other columns really doesn't matter. But this is key. If you do not have that set up correctly, it will not work. Now, this works logically. It just happens just like you would think. In my mind, if I want to find the grade for this student, what I do, or for this worker, I just look over at their percentage of quota that they've reached. I then go look in my table and I follow along until I get to where it no longer passes the test. If it's greater than 0, it goes to the next one. If it's greater than 60, it just keeps on going. When it's no longer greater than a number in this first column, then it goes back and you can get the value from the second column of that table. This is why this has to be in alphabetical order or numeric order. So we'll go ahead and start. We type in equals. This is a VLookup. I'll open my parentheses. And the first thing it says is it wants your lookup value. Well, the lookup value is going to be the cell right here that has the percentage of quota for this person. So now I'll put in my comma, and it tells you the table or array. Well, I named my range over here on the right, so I can go ahead and type in my range name, which is called scale. You'll notice the little card that pops up right here to show you how that's been typed in there, and it turns green once I've actually typed it in there correctly. It's important that you name that range, because if you don't, when you try to copy this formula down, it can kind of explode on you. So then I put in a comma, and it'll tell you column index number next, which is telling you, plain and simple, after you go down and match something in the first column, which column in your table do you want to get a value from? Well, if this is column number 1, the only other column left is column number 2. So I'll type a 2 in there and then close my parentheses and hit enter, and it puts in all those grades. Now, I could have in my range over here any number of columns, and depending on what it is I'm looking from, I could tell it to get something from column 3, column 4, column 5, whatever. But that is the basics for a lookup formula.